Iran's inflation rate will soar to over 40% by year-end, IMF says. Iran's inflation rate will jump to over 40% by the end of the year, even as its economy sinks into a deep recession, the International Monetary Fund is projecting. In a report on Middle Eastern economies released on November 13th, the IMF projected that US sanctions will push down Iran's economic output by 1.5% this year, with its recession deepening into a 3.6% contraction next year. This largely reflects the expected impacts of the reimposition of US sanctions on Iran, which is likely to reduce Iranian oil production and exports significantly over the next 2 years at least, the IMF said. US targets Hezbollah Iraq network with new sanctions. The US Treasury has expanded its attack on Hezbollah's financial network on Tuesday, hitting key representatives of the Lebanese militant group in Iraq with sanctions. The Treasury blacklisted Shabel Muhsin Abiyad al-Zadi, Youssef Hashim, Adnan Hussein Kafrani, and Mohammed Abd al-Hadi Farhat under its specially designated global terrorists program, saying they moved money, acquired weapons, and trained fighters in Iraq for the group. Among the four, al-Zaidi was a key coordinator between Hezbollah, Iran's blacklisted Revolutionary Guards, and their supporters in Iraq, the Treasury said. He is close to alleged Hezbollah financier Abtam Tabjah and coordinated smuggling oil from Iran into Syria. He also sent Iraqi fighters to Syria, allegedly on behalf of the Revolutionary Guard, the Treasury said. The other three were also involved in collecting intelligence and moving money for Hezbollah in Iraq. US Security Chief Bolton vows to squeeze Iran. US National Security Advisor John Bolton vowed Tuesday to squeeze Iran until the pips squeak, a week after tough new sanctions came into force. Speaking in Singapore ahead of a summit, Bolton said, "We think the government is under real pressure and it's our intention to squeeze them very hard. As the British say, squeeze them until the pips squeak. We are also going to significantly increase the enforcement of sanctions." Iran. Teachers nationwide strike in protest to the dire livelihood conditions. From Tuesday, November 13th, Noble teachers refused to attend school classes and went to sit-ins in schools. The strike comes at a time when the repressive forces tried to intimidate them after the nationwide sit-in of last month by arresting and summoning teachers and issuing various threats. Teachers have gone on strike to protest against the suppression and imprisonment of teachers, the deteriorating situation of livelihoods, the uncontrolled inflation, and the decline in purchasing power, and are calling for elimination of discrimination against working and retired educators. Mrs. Mariam Rajavi, President-elect of the Iranian resistance, saluted the teachers and educators who have gone to sit-ins in order to secure their rights, and called on the frustrated public, especially the youth, to express solidarity with them, saying, "Anti-cultural and anti-Iranian dictatorship of the mullahs has destroyed culture and education. The catastrophic situation of working and retired teachers is a product of the plundering and repressive policies of the anti-cultural clerical regime, and it becomes worse as long as the regime is in power. A regime that has only brought torture and execution, war and terrorism, poverty, unemployment, corruption, and plundering to the people of Iran." Young Kurdish woman hanged at the central prison of Sanandaj. Young Kurdish woman Sharara Eliazi was executed a few hours ago at the central prison of Sanandaj, West Iran. She was only 27 at the time of her execution. She had been in prison for 5 years on murder charges.